I'm going to work on a study in impasto acrylics, a water lily with leaves and water. For that, I'm going to work on Figueras paper that weighs something like 300 grams, which I've taped to a wooden board. I'm really going to work impasto, meaning that I've got a bit of water, 1 or 2 brushes, ready just in case, but most of the work is going to be done with a knife. I've prepared my acrylics with a range of blue, green and orangey yellow if necessary for the center of the flower. I've left a small space at the top of the paper to do tests and show the techniques to be used. You're going to see 2 ways of applying the color, i.e. like that with a flat side, or else with a flat side and then scraping. As soon as I scrape the paint, I'm going to interact with the grain of the paper. So here I'm taking my color and working on my background. I need an undercoat. You can see that I'm going to have fun scraping the paint and creating impasto effects, at times with many more colors. So I'm going to work on my entire background like that. Of course, I'm not working without a document. I've got a small photo here next to me. The subject is relatively simple. I did a sketch beforehand that's very, very simple. I've drawn the flower with a bit more precision, but it's not an obligation. We can start like that. There, I finished my first coat and I've left the flower and the leaves blank. Something that's essential, I'm going to clean my knife. Now I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I'm going to work with a green straight away. You can see that I'm using a green that's very bright, very pretty yellow green. You can see that what happens when I put it on, even when I scrape the paint. Now I'm putting it on paint that's not dry. When I do that, my green is perfect. Now I'm going to put it to the side. See, my grain is dirty. Meaning that when you work on wet paint, you have to apply your color in one go. So I'm putting on my green. I'm running into the blue that was there. No problem. The acrylic is starting to dry. It's important not to be afraid to turn the paper or the board in the direction of the knife. It's easier to work like that than in the other direction. So here it's the same. I'm going to take back a bit of green. That's it. That's the technique. And see now, I'm scraping a paint that helps me create life effects. See how I've picked up my knife, but I'm right-handed. My blue is there, I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm turning the board and putting it in that direction to create a shadow effect. As if the water is flowing against the water. Now we have the leaves and the water in place. I'm going to give a flower a bit more colour. I'm going to start with an orangey yellow and do a sort of solid colour without worrying too much about the drawing. See how I'm taking the general shape, so I'm not afraid to run into the green a little bit either. It's not a problem if a little green comes into the yellow. It's atmospheric. So here, working in the wet paint, I'm going to take some white and make a petal shape in the wet paint. See, I'm going to run over into my leaves too. Now I have the center of the flower to position. So see how I'm moving the paint with light touches. I'm going to come back to the details, I might say, over the entire subject. On the water lily leaves, in particular, I'm going to create some glints of light. So there I'm going to use the same green as the start, which I'm blending into the white. I'm redrawing my subject. I'm going to create some impasto effects. So that conventional study, with no exaggerated colors. I've really stuck to the natural colors, but we can use pink. We can go much further. Before each technique or style of painting I want to do, I always do that too. Meaning that I take all the colors that I'm going to use and I do a test. So I've got a constant reminder of what I can do.